On today's Smart 7, Ben Wallace bows out, England schools are literally crumbling, and lots more. It's Friday the 1st of September, it's Ginger Cat Appreciation Day, and happy birthday Zendaya.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
Prime Minister Rishi Sunak found himself doing a micro reshuffle as Defence Secretary Ben Wallace formally submitted his resignation. He'd flagged that it was coming, but the official letter dropped Thursday morning, with Ben planning to invest in the parts of life he'd neglected. Wallace was seen as a very capable pair of hands in defence at a time of war, but no one seems quite as confident about his replacement. Former Energy Secretary Grant Shapps. He seems enthusiastic though.
First of all, I'll get my feet in the door and contribute to my predecessor, I think.
Claire Coutinho steps into the Energy Secretary position. Grant Shapps has had 5 different cabinet jobs under 3 different Prime Ministers, and Labour's Emily Thornberry wasn't too impressed by his appointment.
It really doesn't matter how many new jobs Rishi Sunak gives to his friends. It's still moving the deck chairs. They're still a sinking ship. This country really needs change.
Former Chief of the General Staff, Lord Dannett, doesn't sound optimistic about the prospect of a former photocopier salesman at the head of Britain's military.
Now we have a new Defence Secretary who knows very little about defence, and it's a complex portfolio. It will take him quite some time to get up to speed.
The Met Police are among the UK's police forces who've been struggling to clear out troublesome officers from their ranks, and Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley warning that there are many cases due to come before the courts. Now the government has moved to introduce automatic sacking for police officers found guilty of gross misconduct in England or Wales. Minister for Policing Chris Phillips says this will help to speed up the process of change.
The measures we're announcing will make sure that there is nowhere to hide for police officers who do not deserve to wear the uniform or carry the badge.
Labour's Shadow Home Secretary Yvette Cooper said there's more work that needs to be done, including some offences should lead to an automatic suspension.
But I think these reforms are long overdue. We've called for a full overhaul of the vetting and misconduct system long ago, and I don't think they go far enough.
Judges are also getting more powers in the wake of the Lucy Letby case, as the government says they will now be able to force people to attend court for sentencing and victim impact statements. But Mark Fairhurst, chair of the Prison Officers Association, says it's not clear how this would work.
I worry that it's just a headline. I'm glad that they've listened to the voice of the victims, but in practice, sit down with us and let's work it through. Let's make sure that the risk to staff is reduced.
There's been an endless wave of speculation over the death of Wagner mercenary boss Yevgeny Prigozhin after his plane was brought down over Russia. Authorities hurriedly declared him dead and carried out a high-speed funeral, and now footage of the leader of the mini coup has emerged, filmed in Africa just days before the mysterious crash. It certainly suggests that he was aware of risks to his life.
Right now, it's the second half of August 2023, and I'm in Africa. So for people who like to discuss wiping me out, or my private life, everything's okay.
Meanwhile, a British man fighting in Ukraine has been killed. Sam Nui, 22, had been serving with Ukrainian forces in the east of the country. It seems that the Ukraine military are becoming frustrated with both the slow pace of their advance and with the international criticism of that slow pace. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmitry Kuleba had a pretty stark message for those who've been complaining.
Criticizing the slow pace of counteroffensive equals to spitting into the face of Ukrainian soldier. I would recommend all critics to shut up, come to Ukraine and try to liberate 1 square centimeter by themselves.
England's schools are crumbling, and not just metaphorically. Over 100 schools have had to be closed as a matter of urgency. The Department of Education sent an immediate closure notice to 156 schools, school nurseries and further education colleges on Thursday morning. The affected schools are built with so-called aerated concrete, which is now beyond its lifespan and could collapse with little or no notice. The closure will mean thousands of pupils will have to begin their school year online. And Niamh Sweeney, Deputy General Secretary of the National Education Union, says the late notice is just not good enough.
It is an absolute disgrace and a sign of gross incompetence by this government that they have left this information so late. This concrete is known as the aero bar of concrete. You can't necessarily tell from the outside that it's unstable, but when you look at the inside of it, it's full of holes.
Still to come in the Smart 7, the Queen of Rom-Coms is back and Lewis Hamilton signs on the dotted line.
Right after this. Welcome back. 3,
This weekend sees the Formula One Roadshow head to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. It'll probably be another weekend of seeing who comes second as Max Verstappen aims to win his 10th race in a row and more or less wrap up the championship. There was some good news for Mercedes as Lewis Hamilton announced that he's going to sign a new 2-year contract with the team as they hope to recover their lost momentum. He says he's looking forward to it.
I couldn't be happier to be extending with this team. We still have unfinished business, so we are in this together. We've got a lot of work to do to get ourselves back to the front, but there's no place I would rather be.
If you've never seen the Japanese game show Takeshi's Castle, then you've missed out on a genuine cultural moment. The granddaddy of crazy action game shows has inspired multiple copycats over the years and could arguably be described as the basis of Netflix smash hit Squid Game. Now, the venerable Japanese legend is getting a UK reboot with Ramesh Ranganathan and Tom Davis at the controls and heading for Amazon Prime. Richard Hammond of Top Gear fame hosted the BBC's version called Total Wipeout and even stands in awe of the original as he explains how he got involved in the BBC's one.
The commissioner ran it through for me and said, look, I'll send you a CD, we'd like you to host it. I bung the DVD in the machine, watched it and just, yeah, I'm doing it. Because it's unpretentious, it's honest, it's fun, and yet more thought went into Total Wipeout than I think any show I've ever done.
Back in the day, Meg Ryan was the absolute queen of rom-coms. When Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle and You've Got Mail. There wasn't a heart she hadn't broken in Hollywood in the 90s. Now, after a little career break, she's back directing and starring in a brand new rom-com called What Happens Later. It features her and David Duchovny of X-Files fame, and no, that wasn't a dating show. They play old flames who run into each other at an airport just as a snowstorm hits. And let's just say it's got every old rom-com trick in the book. It hits cinemas on October 13th.
They're saying this could be bad. The storm of the century?
What are you worried about?
Everything. I was diagnosed with anticipatory anxiety.
Is that a real thing?
Oh, yeah. Right now, I'm worried that we're lost. Look around.
We are looking around.
Look around. I'm looking around.
Relax. You're already living out your worst case scenario.
What, being stuck here with you?
Yeah.
You make a good point.
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes, and we'll give you the world.